This video is to show you the basics of Zentangle. So Zentangle is basically a new word for something that's been around for a long time, which is creating different patterns within either a shape that you've planned or something that's a little more abstract, not real. So what you're going to do is you're going to get either a Sharpie or a pen or a marker from Miss Pick. In your sketchbook, you can do it a couple of different ways. Some people like to be really organized about their Zentangles, and they like to draw out specific squares, okay? All right, so one way to do it is to draw out specific squares, like maybe you're going to at least need 9 squares if you do it this way. I like it a little bit more abstract or a little bit looser, so I just kind of take my pencil and I draw a squiggly line around my paper. Doesn't have to be a lot, okay? No, you don't want to cover it all up, but you want to have at least like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so I have at least 9 sections there. That's all I need. Okay? So with Zentangling, what you're doing is you're just creating different patterns, okay? A lot of what you're doing is using lines or shapes to make a pattern. So on this number 2, I might simply decide to do just plain lines, okay? All around the number 2, I don't have to keep it lines. I could do lines all the way up, or I could decide to maybe start putting some dots in there, okay? It's up to you, all right? It's just a simple pattern, all right? One pattern that some people like to do is weaving, which is 1, 2, 3 horizontal lines and 1, 2, 3 vertical. And you just simply repeat it over and over again, and it makes an interesting pattern. Okay? You do not have to do the ones I'm doing, but you can if you want to. It's up to you. It's nice if you kind of also just make your own patterns, okay? So I would fill this whole thing up. The whole square needs to be filled with my pattern. Sometimes something that looks really cool is just to do like little circles. And when you do a bunch of little circles together, you have something, all right, that looks pretty interesting. People like checkerboards, okay? Basically you are just going to play around with line and shape, and you are going to make a bunch of different patterns in all of these lines. So when you're done, you should have at least 9, probably more, really interesting patterns. If you want to, there are also playlists that I have on the YouTube channel just entitled Zentangle that have a lot of suggestions of patterns that you might want to try if you want to get something more detailed. But one of the purposes of this is to really kind of just lose yourself in the art. Don't think too much about it. Just kind of like this is just your practice pattern sheet. We're going to probably use these patterns for something else, maybe your surrealist self-portrait or something else that we're doing. So zone out, take your pen, create patterns in the different shapes, and then we'll see what we have, okay? Good luck.